What's up, everybody? This video is not so much a mind-blowing fact. I don't know what I call it. It's just a curiosity. I was curious, what in the world would you hear if that's why I'm thankful for Google AI and like ChatGPT for stuff like this. That's about as far as I go with AI. But I was curious, what in the world would you hear if you were outside of a plane at 30,000 feet? Of course, that could happen. You freeze and no air to breathe. But the first sentence kind of shocked me a little bit because of course I knew that there's very little air up there, but I didn't think about the fact that it would make it pretty much almost silent. Okay, anyways, here we go. You hear a deafening silence immediately followed by the roar of wind and a high pitched scream. The silence is because sound cannot travel through a vacuum, and there's very little air at 30,000 feet to carry sound. You would hear the roar of wind and a high pitched scream because of the high velocity of the wind and the body's friction with it, the body being the plane, and the pressure difference between the inside and the outside of the plane. The sound of the engine would be distorted by the Doppler effect. It's like with an ambulance, like and it would be difficult to hear because of the extreme pressure difference. You'd even hear the engine up there. That's crazy. Here are some additional things you would hear. Okay. The roar of the wind. The wind at 30,000 feet is very strong, and the air is extremely cold, and this would make a deafening roar. A high pitched scream. The scream will be due to the difference in air pressure between the inside and outside of the plane. The sound of the wind. The wind is a mixture of air molecules and air particles. The sound of the plane. The engine will be very difficult to hear because of the extreme pressure difference between the inside and outside of the plane. So I'm just like on the outside of the plane, I'm just hearing silence, like words of wind. That's crazy to think about. I can't be the only one who's like, don't tell me you knew this before you saw this video. Nobody knew this. Come on, baby. Here are some additional things you would not hear: the sound of the plane engine, the sound of the plane's wings, the sound of the plane's landing gear. So if they let out the landing gear up there, you still wouldn't hear that retracting. It's so loud you wouldn't even be able to hear it. That's crazy though. Look what the lack of air can do. The fact that I know air or sound has to travel through a medium, like water, air, but the fact that there's no air up there that makes it silent is kind of terrifying. Just like space. If you were to be in a plane at 30,000 feet, you would hear the roar of the engines. But if you were outside of the plane at 30,000 feet, you would hear the high pitched scream and the roar of the wind. Still kind of fucked up that you can hear the wind. Why can't you hear anything? But there you go, guys. I guess the pressure is the reason. But yeah, that's was a curiosity that just popped into my head. But pretty insane. See ya.